Oh, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, out here riding and thought I'd talk about what gear should I be in. Let's talk about it. Roll that intro. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Like I mentioned, been riding this this new bike here a little bit, and I'm still trying to get used to the the proper cruising gear that I should be in. And I mean, I don't know. What I will say is that like my Scout 60 is a 5-speed. And I feel like with that if I'm going, like say right now I'm going around 50, 54, 55, whatever, typically a road like this, its speed limit's like 55, anywhere from 45 to 55. And usually the Scout I can have in 5th gear, and since this bike's, it's got 6 gears, I try to put it in 6 when I am riding, but I feel like a lot of times when you're below 60 miles an hour, I feel like that it kind of lugs a little bit, and it just doesn't have the get up and go like I want it to have. So I think I found that a road like this, I typically leave it in 5th gear. If I'm on the interstate and I'm going like 70, 80, whatever, and all on the interstate, keeping up with the traffic, I mean 6th gear seems to be fine to that point. But yeah, I don't know, I was thinking about that. I was like, just wanted to get your all's opinion. If you have a bike and it has 6 gears, and what gear do you typically ride in on a road like such as this, like a secondary road? I mean, obviously, if we were on a really tight, curvy road, obviously I would be down in 4th or 3rd, or maybe even 2nd. It just depends. But cruising speed, something like this, going about 55 or so, seems like 5th gear seems like to be an adequate gear. I mean, let's just test that. I mean, let's go to 6 one time. All right, this is 6th gear. I mean, it seems to be doing okay. It's got a little bit of a slight lug to it, like kind of lugging along. I don't know if that's what you call it. But I mean, if you roll in the throttle, it still does have some get up and go to it if it's necessary. But I don't know, maybe economically, if I'm trying to get the best gas mileage as possible, maybe I would leave it in 6th gear. But I do kind of like having that that instant power more so. It just depends. And I also think it might have to do with the tune of the bike as well. That's something I'm looking to do here in the possible near future. Is I want to find out if this bike has a stage 1 tune on it. I'm pretty certain it does, but I believe like when you put on this stage 1 or this high flow air intake from Indian, I believe that when it is installed, they do put the stage 1 tune on the bike. I mean, I believe that is the case, but I'd like to find that out. So I've been looking at different tunes for this Chieftain, and from what I've researched, a lot of people go to the Lloyd's tune. They do that, and a lot of people go with the Dynojet PV, and actually my Scout has a Dynojet PV3 on it, so it's like a box or whatever, a little computer thing that you You plug into the ODB2 port, you tune the bike to your specifications for like an intake or an exhaust or whatever. And that I tell you, since I've done that to my Scout, the Scout runs great. I mean, it does. And I'm really surprised at how well it gets in gas mileage for it, and all. It does really well. So the thing is that I see here lately that the DynoJet now has a PV4 out. So it's a newer generation, and you can tune this type of bike and the Scout as well to the PV4. Now the difference is, when I looked into it, is that the PV4 now simply is a cable adapter that plugs into your phone, and you download the DynoJet software on your phone, and then you can load, you create a profile. Obviously, I'll probably, if I end up doing this, I'll do this in the future, but like just explaining is that you plug it in, and then you end up like downloading tunes onto your phone, connect it to your bike with your phone, and then tune your bike, and then you're ready to go. So I don't know, we'll see how that goes. The Lloyd's tune, I think, is like where you actually have to take it somewhere, and you have to, like a remote tuning center, you have to take it somewhere, and then you have to get them to tune it. And I mean, I've heard real good things about the Lloyd's tune. I've heard these bikes run really well with them. I've heard once you tune them, they're like a totally different bike. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I might leave this thing stock for a while, like the way it is. Like I said, I'm going to find out, what it has on it and all too. But if I did decide to go with that PV4, like I mentioned, I think that you can actually tune multiple bikes with it. So I think that you can actually, I can tune this and also get an additional license to tune my Scout as well. But like I said, I've already got the PV3 for my Scout. So, I mean, is it a point to get an additional license and have that? I don't know. Another interesting thing talking about tuning, I'm sorry I kind of went off on the topic of talking about changing gears and stuff like that, but another thing that I want to say is about, speaking of tuning, is, and this is something interesting I was reading, but I'd read that the 116, I don't know if it's let's just say the 116, which has got the Chieftain, the Chief, all the Chief models, all the Chieftain models, besides your basic standard model that's got the 111 in it. I had read that I think it was 23 models, I believe it was 23 and 24 models and up, their ECUs are actually locked. Like I don't know if it's like if it's a particular serial, like ECM1, M1 ECUs. Get a little technical here, but I don't know officially if that's the case, but I saw where basically Indian had locked these ECUs due to, of course, these whole EPA regulation stuff, bullcrap, whatever. And now I don't know officially if Lloyd's tunes or DynoJets, like the PV4s, like I mentioned earlier, if those are able to bypass the ECU lock on the 23 and 24 models. So, if you're deciding to get a 24 model Chief 116 or something like that, you decide to do a tune for it, you might want to look into that. Some stuff I've read about it, because when I got to looking at tunes for this bike and I saw that, I was like, oh man, I was like, but I might totally be wrong. This might be some dated information, but I'm sure that Lloyd's and DynoJet are probably working on a solution for that, and you know, they may have a solution, but you know, this BS with you know, EPA regulations, and you know, I see a lot of, you know, stuff out there, people talking about, you know, some states out there are starting to, you know, legal, you know, make aftermarket exhaust and things like that on motorcycles illegal, and it's starting to, you know, want to push for people getting fined for having that kind of stuff and everything. And I don't know, I personally think it's just really dumb. You know, they talk about how, you know, aftermarket exhaust, and they're like, oh, this pollutes, and this is a noise thing or whatever. Well, I'm sorry, but when you got, you know, you're out here riding a motorcycle and half the people you're around you don't pay attention to you, and, you know, don't watch, you know, you, and they say, oh, you know, loud exhaust, loud pipes save lives. Well, I agree with that. Some people don't agree with it, but I do. And you know, I want to bring attention to myself when I'm around, you know, cars and trucks and stuff and all, if they're not paying attention to me, at least. But I digress. I mean, you know, it's like there's so many other things out there that are more polluting to, you know, this environment than a loud exhaust on a motorcycle is. I mean, you know, I mean, it just, I mean, there's other bigger issues, and it's just like, to me, it's just going after something that's not necessary, and just basically to raise a stink about absolutely unnecessary things that people want to get their panties in a twist about. So really, well, I have talked about a lot of stuff, all the way from what gear should I be in to tunes for your Indian Chieftain and 116 platform, all the way talking about you know, exhaust regulations and things like that. So geez, this is a lot of information. So all right, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Thank y'all for stopping by. I appreciate it. And just let me know, you know, if you're riding these bigger bikes like this, what gear do you usually ride in when you're going down a secondary road like this, and, you know, versus riding on the highway or the interstate? I'd like to know. Just curious. Okay, guys, hope y'all have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.